Well, I want to welcome everybody back to another episode of the Empower Grief Journey podcast. I'm your host, Chris Mamone, and I'm an acceptance coach who helps people heal from grief, loss, and trauma to discover their self acceptance and step into their personal power. This podcast is your dedicated space for healing, growth, and transformation. Each episode shares insightful and inspirational stories, along with practical tools and actionable insights that can help guide you along your healing journey. Today, I have a guest named Keiko out of the Netherlands. She's gone through a huge transformation in her life in a short period of time from 2020 to 2022. After her cataract operation in June of 2020, she then went through divorce and sadly had to say goodbye to her beloved mom who passed away and was followed by her family breaking apart soon after. She then began taking baby steps in healing and rebuilding her life and the journey of creating an exciting future for herself. And she is now the award winning author of the book From Housewife to Pilot, The Beginning. She completed her pilot course, Basic Theory from
Aerovision Singapore.
Aerovation, and she received the certification of public speaking from Public Speaking University, and she's now continuing on to the next level in her building her business. She's an ordinary human just like you, and she's able to make her dreams come true and create something huge for her life. You can too can achieve the dream you have deep inside of your heart and make it come to life. Now she's beginning a journey to empower others. So without further ado, Kiko, I want to welcome you onto the podcast.
Thank you.
And
It's
it
nice to
sounds
be here.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've had quite the journey since 2020.
Yes, that's right. And
Uh,
in the beginning, it was hard.
I can only imagine. It sounds like you went through a lot in just a very
Yeah.
short period of time. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
Yeah, in 2020, the last quarter of the year, and I have to broke the news to my ex-husband, telling him that I have to divorce. It was hard. Because I have no idea, what comes after that. And I was so glad that, the relationship between my ex and we remain friends and we remain in good terms. And when he shared with his family, his brother and his I'm not sure that one is his brother's girlfriend or a partner. I think I will say partner. And she came over to our place and she just called me a bitch.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
hurtful.
Yeah. And in a way, I think I was glad that, my Dutch is not so fantastic. So when she mentioned that word, I have no idea what is the meaning of that word.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
yeah, so at
Okay.
least it's yeah, it's not as the impact is not as big.
Because there's a
And
language difference there between that.
yes, yeah. I mean,
Gotcha.
in a way, I think I'm glad that my Dutch is not 100%. So which is good because it's already challenging. And when it's good that I never know that she is calling me a bitch.
So what, how long were you guys married before you got divorced?
um yeah, that was in 2004.
Okay, so you guys been married about 16 years, it
So
sounds
yes,
like.
16 years, yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And but it sounds
And
like it was a mutual agreement between you and your ex-husband.
he didn't really want to divorce because this came to him unexpected.
Okay.
And yeah, because I know my journey, um yeah, how should I put it, what I'm going into, It's also because I saw what happened to my mom. Because
Mm.
I had this dream of flying a plane since 20. And due to having glasses, I thought, yeah, that is not possible because it's like to be a pilot, you need to have a perfect vision, or perhaps like a light degree difference is acceptable. And for my degree is too deep, which yeah, I won't be able to be a pilot.
So
Um,
did you then you went on to get your pilot license. Did they approve your vision at that point so you could get the license?
no, because I got the cataract operation. My
Mm.
cataract operation was in 2020.
Okay.
So when I had that cataract operation, due to the natural lens, it's because of that protein turns into a sort of like a clouded lens. So when I look, it's like a foggy vision.
Oh, okay. So it made
Yeah,
it
so
hard for you to see.
yes, it's hard to see things, especially at night, because when at night the street lights is on, and basically there will be a starburst effect on the lamppost.
Mm.
Those light that is shining, there will be a starburst effect, and it's difficult for me to see like the oncoming traffic, oncoming bicycles, and I won't be able to see whoever that is walking ahead of me. I won't be able to see their face.
So it sounds
Yeah.
like becoming a pilot was kind of a dream that happened and involved your mom a little bit. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Um, my mom was she's actually she was actually a natural born leader, and she's great in leading and organizing whatever family events, or that she was fantastic. And it's just like she is really a natural born leader, and if she went to school and study, perhaps she's a linguist, because she was able to speak Malay, Hokkien is dialect, Teochew also the dialect, and Cantonese.
Oh,
For
okay.
this part, I think you have to edit away. Yeah. Okay, I will repeat. Uh, my mom, if she had the opportunity to go to school, I believe she could be a linguist.
Oh, that's really cool.
She was great with languages. And in Singapore, we basically speak English, Malay. Those Malay people, they will speak Malay, and Chinese, we will speak Mandarin. In schools, we usually have two different languages. Like for those Chinese people, they will take up English and Mandarin. And for those Malay people, they will take up English and Malay. Their second language is Malay, so they will take up Malay. And for those Tamil people, their first language, of course, is English, and then the second language will be Tamil.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
so
So for my mom, she never got the chance to go to school, and she was able to pick up Mandarin at her work,
mm.
and she spoke fluent Mandarin. And also Malay. She was fantastic with Malay.
I love it. Um,
Yeah. And also, the various different dialects. She was great in Cantonese, Teochew, and we at home we spoke Hokkien. So yeah, of course, Hokkien she's able to speak. But the thing is, there is a generation gap between my grandparents and us. Their Hokkien and our Hokkien is very different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I'm impressed that your mom was able to speak so many languages all at once
yes, it
because
is.
you know
Yeah, it
it's
is.
I personally have had a hard time learning foreign languages because I've spoke English most of my life, but I really applaud people that can speak multiple dialects. And I've had friends that can speak 3 to 6 languages, and I'm going, I don't know how you process all of that. Like they can speak Spanish and French really well together, and I'm just like, how do you even do that? Just like on the fly when you're listening to somebody talk. Because
Yeah.
I feel like it's like learning English has a lot of shorthand to it, and there's a lot of words that have
Mm,
different meanings to it. So, for people that aren't native to English, it can be really hard to decipher the tone or the meaning and purpose behind it. But
yes,
then,
that's right.
but I talked to people that spoke Spanish and French. I learned French a little bit in college and high school, and I learned that there's so many other ways that they say similar things to English, but it's in different tones and different placements in the language. So it has different meanings, is where I'm going with that. So
Yeah, totally agree with that.
it's just fascinating when you get into different dialects. It sounds like
Yes.
your mom really was a influential motivator for you to go after big things in life.
Yeah, it is actually seeing her step into Alzheimer's journey. That that was a painful experience. Yeah,
So.
because as you know, taking care of her is not easy. And yeah, for me, it's like I'm living 10,000 kilometer away. It was hard.
Mm.
And I guess I'm the only one that miss her a whole lot.
Oh, did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I got one brother and two sisters.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they my brother was busy, so ended up it's only my elder sis and my second sis that look after my parents. And
Mm.
it was hard on them because yeah, all of us we can't help each other to sort of like share the burden. And yeah, due to my brother got his own struggles in life, so most of the time looking after my parents are my both sisters.
So you really had to take care of your mom at that last bit of life, it sounds like, when she was going through Alzheimer's.
Yeah, it was like every year I tried my best to make a trip to visit her.
I wanted to ask you, since you said you guys are 10,000 kilometers away. I know
Yes,
you're in the Netherlands. Where was mom?
Singapore.
That's a long way from the Netherlands. Man,
Yes, that's
yeah.
right. And and also in a way that because I was a housewife here, and as you know, making a trip uh to Singapore is not exactly cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a long
the
flight and not a cheap
yeah,
one.
long flight, and also the period that I stay over there, and it's not exactly cheap. And I just tried my best to, make the best out of the situation.
Well, that's all you can do at that point. I mean,
Yes,
that's a long distance to be separated from your mom,
that's right. Yeah.
and to be able to find time. And I know flying international like that, especially that distance, is very hard to
Yeah,
plan and
it's 12
coordinate.
to 13 hours,
Oh, what, 12
and
hours?
12 to 13 hours.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yes, it is. And basically, I tried my best. At least it's like every year I make a trip back since yeah, I knew that Alzheimer's is basically depending on the duration, it can be long and it can be short also. It depends on the individual health. And my mom altogether, yeah, she had 11 years of Alzheimer's journey.
That's a very long time to live with Alzheimer's. Wow.
Yes, yeah, it wasn't easy, and for both my sisters, looking after her, it wasn't easier. And when I was back, I was glad that, I'm the person when she saw, she felt so happy. Because each time when I went back, I will say, okay, I'll bring you out. So um, I basically, before my parents step into, how you say it, the severe stages of Alzheimer's, where they completely forget everything. Yeah. And before they go into that, yeah, I tried my best to bring them out. At least in the beginning, in the initial stage, I'm able to, you know, go bring brought both of them out and take public transport. That is not a problem. But of
Oh,
course,
okay.
yeah, when the stages become like much more difficult to deal with them, because they will forget everything. So at least it's like, my, yeah, I was glad that my brother was with me, and because he's a Uber driver. So at least he drove us around, and to certain places. It's much more convenient with a car to bring both of them.
Yeah, I can imagine. Um,
Yeah,
so
because there,
so
there was once I took both of them on the bus, and as you know, both of them, yeah, it was quite some time they never take public transport, so they never update their those card for buses. We got those chip cards that you tap when you get up the bus. You will tap on the reader, the card reader. So yeah, there was a period of time that yeah, it was so long that they never changed the card, never update the card. So the card couldn't be used. And of course, when things didn't go well, yeah, my mom will automatically kind of like stuck at that moment. You got what I mean? Yeah. Instead of, when she got out the bus, she took a seat first. And she was just, struggling near to the bus driver. And why is it my card is not working?
oh god.
Yeah. So that I have to, persuade, in a way I have to persuade her to go and sit down first, and then I will settle the issue.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, because
So,
yeah, when things don't work, of course they kind of like, want it to solve the issue as fast as possible. But yeah, when you're on the bus, you can't do that.
no, you can't. So
Yeah.
so were your sisters living in Singapore to take care of your mom while she was going through this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, both my sisters, they were in Singapore. I mean, they are in Singapore, and yeah, it was hard to of course it was challenging to look after both of them.
And
And I guess I was playing that role where, yeah, how should I put it? I guess I should, perhaps, observer is maybe the right status for me. Because when I was in Singapore, I observed my mom's emotion towards how she was being treated. And I also observed the frustration in my siblings.
So it sounds like they had a hard time dealing with that
Yeah,
and helping to take
it
care of
is.
her. Because I know
It
it's
is.
hard dealing with an
It's
Alzheimer's
hard.
patient. It's hard.
Yeah, exactly. It is hard. Because how should I put it? Our patience is limited,
It is.
and it is through this experience. I question myself. What is unconditional love?
Mm. That's a powerful lesson with that patience and unconditional love.
Yeah, it
Tell
is.
us a little bit about that.
Yeah, when I mean, I personally I dealt with that situation. It can be frustrating, when especially when my mom or my dad they will question each time the same question all over and over again. Yes, it is challenging, but on the other hand, when I look at how my parents were treated, of course it's heartbroken, because who will want to be treated unfairly, or who will want to be treated with frustrations?
That can be
Nobody
very
will like
hard.
that. Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
will
we
like
all
that.
want to be treated fairly. We all want to be treated the same, if you will. And that can be really hard, when you're in those difficult moments of life because we're always trying to move forward in these moments of grief where it's really trying when we're at that end stage of life. And it's very hard for us to detach ourselves from the world we're used to step into this world now that's unknown and hard to navigate and very challenging at times. That when people
Mm,
are, especially with Alzheimer's patients, with people that their short-term memory is practically non-existent, and so you're always having to repeat
exactly,
things, and they even can just forget something you said 5 seconds ago, and
exactly.
it's hard to take care of them and do the best for them when you're trying to communicate, but that communication piece, it just is very broken and very hard to maintain while they're going through that process.
Yeah, and I mean, for someone, if you have to repeat the sentences 10 times or 50 times. No, that is not something that anyone can take it.
Yeah, it takes a certain person to, like you said, with patience. That's the big
Yeah,
thing that a lot of people in the grief process don't understand is patience is a big key role with that.
yeah, exactly.
There's no way to rush it or force it or make it go quicker to the way you want. You always have to be patient and let that process be what it may.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's like, we are facing a real person with a heart, with an emotion, and with actions, and with reactions. And yeah, you can't basically control the situation. There's no way we can control the situation.
So I wanted to ask you, Kiko, it sounds like you went through losing your mom and that divorce right in the same window of time, is what it sounds like. Did your divorce happen after your mom passed, or did that happen before?
Before my mom passed.
Before. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that was really, it's like, especially when the news came to me, my mom's passing, and that was in Corona period.
Hmm. So
And yeah, that was really challenging to have to arrange the trip kind of like in a very short period of time.
I I can
And
imagine,
I
and
have to
it's
get the permit. I have to get the letters or whatever, those documents, necessary documents, and I need to go for the test, the corona test, all that, in a very short period of time, where I need to fly to Singapore.
man. And so were you working on your pilot license at the same time all this was going on?
No, I actually was when I arrived in Singapore during quarantine, a friend of mine she said, yeah, since now you're in Singapore, might as well you go for the pilot course. So
Why
during the
not?
quarantine, I have 14 days in the hotel. So I cannot be out. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
right. That I totally forgot
yeah,
about that from COVID. They trapped people in their
yes,
hotels for 14 days. Couldn't go
yes,
anywhere or
that's
do
right.
anything. God, that
Yeah,
what was that like?
it's
What was
just
that
eat
like,
and
by the way?
sleep. Eat, sleep, and take a bath.
Oh my
So
God.
yeah, it's not exactly nice because yeah, when you wake up, you face the same room, you know, every day for 14 days, and the food will be delivered at the doorsteps.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was glad that I took up a course during that time. So
Yeah,
so
and
I was busy with my course.
so what was it like getting your pilot license? What was that day like when you
Mhm.
finally got there?
Um, no, it's just a basic theory. So it's just a theory part that I completed, and I went through the exam. I still have to go for the practical part. And yeah, it's a long story. But it was hard at that time because been through the my mom's funeral, and I felt so tired on a daily basis. I felt so tired, and as it's hard for me to juggle my energy level. And but then I was glad that I passed my exam and I got 86%.
Hey, that's practically perfect.
Yeah.
Not bad for doing all that studying in the middle of COVID and a lockdown. That's
Yeah.
impressive.
And and I had to go for the lessons on a daily basis.
That is quite the trip to getting your pilot license.
Yes. I thought it's for perhaps I had my course once or twice a week, but in the end I had my course every day. Ended up I was so exhausted, and I was like, oh dear, exam. Oh, I can't imagine. I couldn't imagine when exam period, how will I score? It was really I felt like I was dragging myself to school.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
it was so tired, and basically as after my mom's funeral, to be honest, yeah, I won't be able to, I couldn't focus.
that makes sense. A lot of
Mm,
people that go through that part of grief, it's a very hard time where
mm,
you're dealing with a lot of different emotions. You're dealing with life changing. You're dealing with
yeah,
somebody you're very close to, like a parent, not being there anymore. So
yeah,
figuring out what that looks
that's
like
right.
to go forward, it's a very hard time.
Yeah, and also, after the funeral, great, my sibling broke apart. My family
You're,
broke apart.
oh,
That was shocking.
what caused that to break apart?
I I have no idea. I was surprised. Why is it that my elder sister wasn't talking to me? Because it's like she was talking to me during the funeral, and she was we were having the video call when I was in the hotel having
Mm,
the quarantine. And after the quarantine, no, she never contact me.
wow. That's surprising.
And yeah,
I've heard
yeah,
of that quite a bit when people go through
yeah,
major life changes in grief that families split up for whatever reason. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
known, sometimes it's not. I think it's really how people handle their grief and process their grief is what ultimately causes that to happen.
Yeah, yeah, it could be, because it's like anyway, I have to accept what it comes. Have to
You bring
accept
up
and
a
embrace whatever thing.
You bring up a good point with that, we don't
Mm,
accepting what happens in reality for us doesn't mean we like it and we agree with it, but it just means we accept it
mm,
for what it is so that we can make peace with
yeah,
it and move forward in our life.
that's right. I mean, because it's like I can't just because of that, and there's no point for me to sit there and cry. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you with that one.
Yeah, and yeah, just accept that, whichever. I'm glad that the whole journey, my brother is standing next to me.
So your brother
So
was supportive of you.
yeah, I mean, I was glad because after I came out from the hotel quarantine, my brother said, "Yeah, come and stay at my place." And yeah, I was so touched that my brother invited me to stay at his place, because he is staying at my parents' place. So it's like I was so touched that he invited me there.
Oh, that's
And
nice of him.
he, yeah, yeah, it is, and you never know,
So
you really never know.
I want to ask you really quickly, how did you end up writing a book after these experiences?
How do I end up? Good question. I it's just that there's something that struck me, because a friend of mine that we knew each other for 30 over years, and that was in, I think, in the late, or maybe late 80s or early 90s, that she and a group of our colleague, our ex, I mean, it's like my ex colleagues, we were working in the same place, and a couple of them, they came together and they started writing a book. And it is from that moment where I saw, because this friend of mine, we were very close at one time, at the period of in our life, we were very close, just like sisters. And I saw her, combined with a couple of friends, they wrote a book, and that was how the thought came to me.
That's incredible. And tell us a little bit about your book. What's your book about and what did you put in your book?
My book is about basically how you want your dream to bring it into your reality,
Hmm. I like
because
that. 'Cause that's
there are steps that you need to take before your dream can you can bring your dream into reality,
so
because everything is energy.
I agree with you on that. Everything is energy. Um,
Yeah,
so did you put in stories about your experiences in life and the mix of sharing about energies and those steps you need to take towards your dreams?
yeah, basically I touch on a bit on meditation, because for me, when I had the cataract, I started meditation.
Mm.
And it's through meditation I understand about grounding. Because when you have an idea that you like to bring into your reality, and of course we have fear in us, that is something that we can't say we avoid the fear or delete the fear. There's no way that we can do that because there is always fear there because we are in the duality. This 3D world is a duality, world, meaning there's up and down, there's hate and love. Everything is duality.
That's
So
really
if you got
that's a powerful
if
concept of duality.
yes, and if you got fear in you to bring your dream into this 3D world, it's going to be hard.
Hmm. So fear
Yeah,
makes it harder for us to do that.
yes, exactly. And it's like for example, you're sitting in the plane and suddenly there's a thunderstorm and the plane is moving, yeah, in the you know those air pockets in the in the air. The plane could bump into an air pocket and then suddenly the plane shifted. Or yeah, basically it's like it might hit the air pocket and then you can feel that bump in the air. And that kind of moment, of course, yeah, it can easily create those fear that what happened when the plane there's something goes wrong in the plane, and all those question mark will arise. And a fear can easily overwhelm anyone. And of course when you have fear, uh it's not a great ingredient to work with. Because if
Yeah,
you
fear
yeah
yeah,
yeah
fear is a
because
big roadblock for a lot of people. And it stops
yes,
them from going after a lot of dreams or goals or trying something new in life.
true. And yeah, everything will not be able to it would be hard for you to bring that idea and ground it in this 3D world.
That's
And it's like you plant a seed. If you plant a seed, take for example a strawberry. You plant a strawberry, and if you give the strawberry love, each time you water the strawberry, you put love in and you said, I love you, strawberries. And in the end, the harvest period, you will receive a big red strawberries. And
oh,
if you put fear in, you will receive a smaller strawberry, or might not be a fantastic looking strawberries. So yeah, that is so, it's like what is in your mind, you bring it into your reality.
yeah, I think the fear is something that holds us back because we
Mm,
usually get into fear because of the unknown. We get into that place
yeah,
because we don't know what that next step looks like or even what might happen in certain
yeah,
situations. And to your point, when we start planting seeds, which is just putting one step in front of the other, 1% at a time, just letting something grow and foster and taking action towards things, that's where that
mm,
fear starts to go away because we start to see the berry trees start to grow and we start to see the
yeah,
fruit come to fruition.
that's right. I mean, when you see the fruits comes out, yeah, your feeling will be very different.
Yeah. So tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about this. Have you actually gotten to fly a plane yet, or do you fly currently?
No, not yet, because after the pilot theory course, I have to step into learning about business. So
Hmm.
I was busy basically doing all the different business development courses with different coaches, because business is really a huge topic. It
That's
is
a
a very
very big
huge topic.
topic.
Yeah. And it's not it's not just on accounting alone. The transaction, the debit and credit, it's not just about that alone. It's
Yeah, there's lots of different parts of business.
yes, it is a lot of parts. So it's a huge lesson.
Yeah.
But
So how are
I'm
the
glad that you know I learned from all the various different cultures and get to understand it's like you know having a jigsaw puzzle and I'm placing the pieces together and I'm able to see the one big picture. Yeah, and
that
plus you know over this period where AI is kind of like essential. It's really essential. We have to learn AI. Yeah.
I've dabbled with AI a little bit. It's a very
Yeah,
powerful tool if you can
it
learn how to
is.
navigate it and figure out how to use it to your best advantage.
Yeah, it is. And it really helps us. You know, like for me, I think AI helps a lot.
Yeah, it helps us put
Yeah.
ideas and constructs into
Mm.
place in our own terms, and I think that's the real beauty of it. I mean, it really can go
True.
much more beyond that. But if you can learn how to use it positively in your own life, it can be a
Yeah.
very helpful tool.
That's right. And I started using AI, like, you know, if I want to create a course and, you know, I make use of AI to guide me. So if I want to create the course, you know, how will it be? And, you know, when I just put the instruction there and AI will came up with a whole lot of answer, a whole list of answer. So which is very handy, at least yeah, it makes as a business we considered entrepreneur. I think it makes us our life easier.
So when do you think you'll
Mm.
become a pilot and get to fly?
I have no idea right now. I just know that it's a journey. There's no destination. So it's just a journey. I just enjoy my ride.
I like that. It's a Becoming a pilot's a
Yeah.
very hard thing, especially here in the US. It's a very, very hard job to get into. It takes a lot of
Mm.
practice. I know that I've talked to a few guys that are pilots, and they have to take hours and hours and hours in a simulator.
Yeah. It
And
is
even for them to become a
yeah.
captain, they've got to fly
Mm.
co-pilot for a long time to get their hours in on a commercial jet before they can
Yeah,
actually
true.
take over. So it's a
True.
very rigorous
Yeah, it's not,
process.
yes, it is it's not easy. And my instructor, Captain Sarah, he told me if I have the thought of going to America to take the my flying in America, perhaps that would be ideal compared to you know other parts of the world because in the world American license plane you can find most places.
Oh, well,
So
that's pretty
yeah,
handy.
basically it's like if I get the license from America, wherever I go, I'm able to fly the plane.
Well, that's a pretty nice little benefit there. So
Yeah.
that, yeah,
So I did have the thought of if I want to do the practical, I might choose to go to America, but right now I'm not sure whether is it the right timing.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, it sounds like you've had quite the journey in the last 5 years. I mean, everything from
Yeah,
cataract surgery to divorce to losing your mom to having family break apart. It sounds like you've had a
yeah,
lot of challenges.
yeah.
And it's,
It is a whole lot of challenges,
yeah.
and sometimes I question myself. life,
But
is it really so hard? Or is life, can't isn't that life could be easier?
that's the part of grief journeys that I share with people is that we never know where it's going to take us. We don't know what to
Mm,
expect. And life,
yeah,
life is hard. Life isn't easy. It's always going to
mm,
be a challenge. It's always going to be a problem to solve, something to learn, something to
yeah,
grow from. It's never going to be a steady path, of ease throughout
true.
life.
It's not going to be a steady path. Because
Yeah.
yeah, at first I thought, yeah, everybody is so supportive, everybody is so helpful, and but then it's like perhaps I'm seeing the wrong perspective. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, maybe I'm seeing it in the wrong perspective.
Well, I
You
think
get what
that
I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think that,
Mm.
you've having written a book and taking those steps towards your goal, I think is a big step of using that grief to move you forward.
Yeah, yeah. Perhaps
So,
it's basically the grief has propelled me forward so much that I need I didn't even realize it's from that grief.
yeah, grief it can propel you forward in a lot of ways. And that's where
Mm,
a lot of people try to define themselves by their grief or stay stuck in it a lot. And they make a choice to do that. Some people do. And that's where
mm,
you miss opportunities in life, or you really miss the opportunity of grief. Here in America, grief is seen as this don't talk about it and push it under the rug, and
mm.
it's something we don't have to face, just move on and forget it happened. But grief is a matter of the heart. It's not a matter of the mind, and so we
But
can't.
we still need to face it and be able to move forward, man.
We need to, because if you learn how to
Yeah.
move forward with grief, it can be something that'll make you a better person. And to
Mm,
not move forward with your grief and just try to let go and move on, it really, you miss an opportunity in life, a big one. So
mm.
that's
Yeah, so
that's the
true.
power of grief. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so
So
true. I mean, it's like I guess that there are many of them that they just move on without really sit with that grief and
yeah, we don't.
really face it, and how to face that emotion struggle. And I guess also because perhaps some people they find it, they just tuck it away, and they won't be seeing that again. Perhaps that was their thought.
Yeah, that's what I always share with people about grief is that, if you
Mm,
ignore it and don't look for the signs of how to work through it, it will always come back to you in your life. And it may not always come in the nicest way either. You might have conflicts with people, you might lose a job, you might
mm,
start having things fall apart in your life for whatever reason. And that's because if you ignore your grief, it will find its way out in other places and other areas of your life. So it's always important
yeah,
to recognize when it comes up and how you can deal with it.
yeah,
So,
and sit with it and really think through it. I think that is really important, because it's like when some of the past event that turns up, you really need to look at it and understand what's going on during that period of time.
that's well said, Kika. Well,
Mm.
as we wrap up the podcast here, I wanted to ask you, where can people find your book?
It's on Amazon, and audiobook is in Storytel.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be putting links at the bottom of the show notes so that if people want to find a copy of your book, they can go click that link and go to Amazon and
Yes.
purchase the book.
Yeah.
So,
And the audiobook is in Storytel.
okay, perfect. I think
Yeah.
you sent me your link tree, so I'll be able to get that posted so people can have access to it.
That'll be
So,
great. Awesome.
yeah. So, well,
Yeah.
I just want to say a big thank you for coming on the podcast today and sharing your grief story with us. I think there was a lot to learn from all the struggles and challenges you went through in the last 5 years have really
Yeah,
put you on a course to set your own journey forward and always go after your goals and dreams and not be set back by fear.
yeah, that's right. And it's so important to create your 5 year roadmap
Hmm.
because it's just like Tony Robbins mentioned, if you don't know where you want to be in 5 years' time, you're already there. This is
That could not
such
be
a
more true.
powerful, yes, this is such a powerful phrase. So it is good to know where you want to be in 5 years' time.
I think that's a powerful thing for grievers listening to this podcast to think about, and I know that's kind of fast moving for some people that are at a different stage in grief, but for others, that's a great question to ask. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Because
Yeah,
grief wants us to redefine where we are right now and who we are. And if we choose
yeah,
to,
and grief it basically can keep us prison for 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years.
that's powerful.
Yeah.
So, well, Kiko,
So
I want to thank you for being a guest on the podcast today, and I
you're
want to
welcome.
thank I want to thank all of our listeners for joining Keiko and I on today's episode of the Empower Grief Journey podcast. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with somebody you know who could benefit from it. For more episodes that are designed to empower you and support you during your grief journey, visit empowergriefjourney.com and subscribe to this podcast. You can find this podcast on Apple and Spotify. The Empower Grief Journey is all about honoring your journey, embracing your emotions, and finding strength in your own time. You're never alone on this journey, and together we can navigate grief with courage and compassion. Until next time, be kind to yourself and take your grief journey one step at a time.